Hey VC, what's going on? So I'm going to keep going here and finish out this stack of records so I can put them away. I'm also going to see if I can record a video while the other one is uploading and my computer doesn't crash. So I'm going to put on what I'm listening to right now. Once a Fool by Yukihiro Takahashi. Now this is old, 80s, but this music is like kind of what I wished that I could have heard on the radio at the time. And I'm just going to play it. I'll get the notice about publishing and copyright. I don't care. From Yellow Magic Orchestra, and before that he was in Sadistic Mika Band. I love this music and this feel. Why I'm Old. It's got that 80s boxy sound with the drums and stuff. Great song though. That's just some nice music. See, it doesn't matter what he's saying, it's the feeling for me, that's why, again, I just claim it, if I'm sort of, some kind of dunderhead or something because I don't latch onto the words, so be it. The music saves me. Takahashi. So let me leave off where I left off. Some more records I was playing this weekend. Ultimate Spinach, Behold and See, Boston area band, I believe, from the 60s. Scratchy, actually. Not consistently brilliant, but many moments of excellence. Mind Flowers on here is the psychedelic tour de force. Mind Flowers. Ultimate Spinach. This is an original. Marion Brown. Now this album is deep, okay? And it's, even when I listened to it this time, it was like, Marion, it's like, okay, what are you doing to me? Because the intro, the way it starts, this percussion thing, he really sets it up. And it's like you're either gonna go there or he's gonna lose you. And that's what I think is brilliant about this album. Marion Brown, Afternoon of a Georgia Fawn. Because once it moves into the music part, it's like, oh my God. Wow. Marion Brown, unrecognized genius musician. Marion Brown, that's just my humble opinion. And this album is a challenge. But if you can make it through the first part, you'll be richly rewarded. Played this single yesterday, Go to Sleep, Radiohead. And again, I know that the lyrics are important, but it's the sound and the songwriting that... What a band! Radiohead is an excellent band. What a sound, and Tom York's voice. Merely the sound of his voice works for me. Then when I pay attention to the lyrics, I get that, if I do. And there are many layers of meaning to be discerned, and all kinds of further fantastic revelations and experiences to be had from diving deep into lyrics. I do understand that, but I unashamedly share that I am a music head, and in a live setting, I'll take the time to listen to someone's story. Like if they start playing and the music is just really nondescript, but they say something, I'll go there. But at home, you got to give me some music for the most part, please. Kieran Hebden, otherwise known as Fortet, did a collaboration with now passed jazz drummer Steve Reed. And this is volume 1 of the collaboration. It really works. Sampling and electronics with improvised pulse jazz drumming. The Exchange Session, volume 1. This is really cool. 2006. Again, it's like instead of having saxophonists and real musicians jamming or responding to the drumming, which is live, it's Kieran with his sampling and his electronics responding to the drumming. It works. It's really good. Creatures of the Night by Turning Point. In a way, I associate this album with the Canterbury School of Prague and jazz rock. 1977. Brian Miller, the pianist, synthesizer player on here, has since passed away, but this album is a testimony to how good he was. The whole band is quite good. Turning Point. David Sanchez in tone. Transformation. The Speed of Love. This is brother David Sanchez putting together his love of progressive rock with jazz rock. This came out in 1976. On the surface, you wouldn't say that it's there, but I hear it. Genesis. Peter Gabriel era Genesis influence on this album. Heavily, actually. I hear it big time. But I also hear the Mahavishnu thing too. And maybe some of you know that later on, years after this, David Sanchez was in Peter Gabriel's touring band for a while. He might have recorded with Peter too. Highly recommended. You can still find this album cheap. David Sanchez and tone. Tim Blake, who was in Gong and also Hawkwind and is still currently with Hawkwind. Synthesizer magician, Crystal Machine on Egg. If you dig the cover, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, Crystal Machine. Perfect title. Probably one of my top pianists besides Ryuichi Sakamoto is Paul Bley. And here's one of his early albums, Ramblin' on Big Actuel. A signature song for me, in my mind, of his is on here, Ida Lupino, written by Carla Bley. Whew. And then there's something about the way that Paul moves through chordal changes that I find unique, brilliant, and inspiring. It's not on record yet, but I wrote a piece called Bley-like. And when I listened to it, I thought it was done, but it's not done. So that's one that still needs to come out. Bora Bergman, Discovery. Now here's an avant-garde musician that I'm sure many of you don't know about. He's passed away already. What I can say about Bora Bergman was that he had this technique where when he plays and he lets loose, it sounds like two pianists. It's one guy, but he's realizing melodic lines and discourses with both of his hands at the same time that are going in independent directions. It's really kind of mind-blowing when you want to, I mean, it is. Bora Bergman, Discovery. This is mind-blower. It's not an easy listen. I like a challenge myself. Okay, then the other night online we were really buzzing about this Italian band from the 70s area. Jazz, music concrete, avant-garde, progressive rock, they did it all. Their deceased singer, Demetrio Stratos, had an amazing voice, reminiscent of Leon Thomas. For you folks that know Leon Thomas, this is Crack. These are all originals on Cramps. Fantastic musicianship. Event 76. This one is thick. This one is not easy to listen to at all. I listened to this all the way through the other night, Saturday night. Wow. What an excursion. Maledetti. Yeah, I'm thinking of you, Daddy Penix now. I know that you appreciate my attempt to speak Italian well. Maledetti area. If you don't have these guys yet, Rob, this is some Italian music waiting for you, bud. Maledetti. And then Arbeit macht frei, that's German. Area. fantastic. Highly recommended for serious listeners. I mean, you can just be entertained by it, but this is music like food, which is what I like. I like entertainment like anyone else, but a lot of this music has really helped me to stay alive, okay? That's why I have such an attitude sometimes. Bondberglund. What's the name of this? Unearthed. Guitar-driven album, but he came to my attention through having a band called Factrix, which I don't have on vinyl anymore, which was industrial. But this is pretty cool. Mid-80s. Experimental, I suppose. Listen to this again. Richard Lee gave this to me. Bad, Bad, Not Good. 2 songs. I really like this overall. I do. The drumming is... No, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why even do that? Yeah. This is more like it. This is like it. Good writing. Interesting. Inventive. Bad, Bad, Not Good. Thanks again, Richard. Thank you. Played this all the way through. Now, I don't listen to much music that sometimes kind of gives me a creepy feeling, but some of it I still do get in the mood for. And Coil is, this album, Gold is the Metal, is one that I kept. They've had some records that I've owned in the past where I got rid of them because it was just taking me somewhere creepy. That's the best way I can put it. Gold is the Metal. Okay, another one that was given to me by John Coltrane 68 a few years ago, French TV. When I first got this from him, I didn't think much of it, but I listened to it recently all the way through. And this is an independent release. Doesn't even have a label. This is a test pressing that they sold. Their test pressings. Definitely has a Canterbury influence, but you can hear that the musicians are not fully accomplished, but they're on to something. And so when you stay with it, it's like it is rewarding once you get through there's clunky parts. And I think it starts off kind of clunky, but they get it together before it's over. Only 500 copies of these were made. Thank you so much, Chris. Jean-Luc Ponty, The Gift of Time. This is an album that probably would be dismissed by some folks because they say, oh, that's his later period where he's just churning it out, which he was, but the title track on this album is wonderful. The Gift of Time sounds great. Beautiful track. Really well played. Okay, and I think that brings me... Oh, just a couple more. I was listening to Children of Light, Angels of Light, We Are Him, basically Swans. And I don't listen to this much, but again, we all have people and things that we vibrate with and don't. I can't explain how it is, but I feel Michael Gyra when he sings. As soon as I hear his voice, it's like, I just feel this man, you know? It's not even so much that I necessarily agree with what he's saying or that he's speaking for me, but this music has a whole lot of feeling, and again, that word I'll use, soul. So when I put on Swans music, it pulls me in. I can't say that about everyone. You know, there's some people that are like, let me think of someone like, for example, I'll use a big one, that really pulls people in, that I have to really decide to go with it because it doesn't pull me in. It's Bruce Springsteen. But he has that power, but it's just so mashed potatoes to me, you know, that I just have to really kind of just say, okay, I will stop and listen. But when this man opens his mouth or starts his music, it's just something very organic about how it draws me. I just, you know, just as a way of comparison for maybe folks who don't know about Swans and Michael Gyra, but everybody knows about Bruce Springsteen, you know what I'm saying? So maybe some of you Springsteen folks might be encouraged to try listening to some Swans. I don't know what will happen, but I recommend it. And that is it. Yeah, these others are just waiting to be put away from recent VCLT. I'll stop there, folks. Flyover is still for sale, and I just put it out in February. It's a new album, okay? It's not old news. Not all of you have my album. Let me show it before I go, okay? This is well worth owning. You can listen to it online. Fly over. This is my baby. Designed by Tim Guthrie. Eternally grateful to the brother for doing this fantastic artwork for me. Let me just show it off again, folks. Bear with me. Splatter vinyl. There's only 500 copies of this. Get it while you can. Or more honestly, get it now so I can keep going, you know. There's a lot of you folks out there that watch me that don't have my records, you know, and I think you'll be surprised. This is good stuff, okay? As good as anything on the market. It is better than a lot of stuff. It is. It is. That's not my ego talking. That's my ears talking, as well as many other people's ears who have shared with me how much they love this music. Thanks. Thank you.